You're good? Just put that up there so it doesn't ring. So we'll probably talk, I think we'll talk the game, the race, coming back to New Year's Eve and all that. And then just ask you some more broad stuff about you and the Hawks and just your journey to get here, all that type of stuff.
Sounds
you
good.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm here with Hawk star Trey Kell. Trey, 5 in a row, really, really humming. I imagine having gone off that tough stretch in the road, you've had a couple, not just tough opposition, but back-to-back games, short turnarounds, and you managed to keep getting the job done. I imagine confidence must be pretty sky high in the group right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, road games are never easy, and we played, some tough opponents as well. So, we're feeling good, but at the same time, we're not trying to get too high. We're just trying to, take it day by day, game by game, and, continue with the momentum that we have.
Consistency seems to be what's marking you guys. What's setting you apart from the rest of the league? This is a wildly fluctuating league. We're seeing teams blow out teams by 20, then get done by 20 in 48 hours. You guys seem to be the only team at the moment that can sort of maintain that level. What do you put the consistency down to?
Maybe the depth of our team. I think that's a luxury that we have, where I think Brisbane's a perfect example. For me, I know personally I couldn't throw a rock in the ocean if I wanted to, and the second unit came in, and they're able to put get points for us, and trim the lead down, and a lot of teams don't have that luxury where they rely on their main guys so heavily, and I'm able to have a off half and be able to bounce back and try to help us out. So I think that's a big point for us, and JT does a great job as well of just making sure that last game was last game. We won, and obviously that's the goal, but we can't dwell on that or be happy about that. We got to move on to the next one. So I think he does a great job with that.
Does that let you, when you've got that sort of, they've got your back, that second unit, does that let you go about your business in a bit of a different way? I suppose if you knew you were going to be carrying, an entire scoring load just night after night after night, you might go about it a little bit differently. Does it let you sort of feel your way into a game a little bit better when you've got that depth and you've got those guys that are coming in and having your back in that way?
For sure. I think it helps in a couple ways. One, like you said, you don't really have to be thirsty, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't have to go out and force shots or look for my shot. I can just take what the defense gives me, knowing that, the bench would come in and do a great job, or if the bench got it going, I can come in the second half and, try to be more aggressive. And at the same time, it's also a great luxury to have, to know if I have, a bad shooting night, that they can carry the load just as well and finish the game. So, like I mentioned before, it's a great luxury to have.
I guess what strikes me about the run that you've managed to put together too is just, I guess, schedule-wise, a lot of games on the road in recent times, you've managed to get those wins that just got on the road early on, really setting you up for, I guess, the back end of the season. Now you come into a bit of a run at home. You've really taken care of business the last 2 times out at home, but you have to sort of suddenly go, be wary not to get a bit complacent when you're back home and you've got this run of 4 in front of you at home?
I don't think it's necessarily being at home. I think it's just the human nature of a couple of things. When you go on a win streak, you kind of naturally just kind of let off the gas a little bit and be like, all right, we're feeling good. Small details, you might not take it serious and things of that nature. So, you just got to do your best not to do that. And I think also, too, just where we're at on the ladder board, it'd be real easy to be like, we can afford some slippage. But at the same time, we're trying to create as much of a gap as we can to where, hopefully we don't have, but if we have a couple game stretch where it doesn't go our way, we still have that comfortable gap because, like you said, we've been playing so well and been so consistent that we've, allowed ourselves to have that.
How much are you looking forward to a New Year's Eve game? It's been a traditional spot on the Hawks schedule for so many years. The fans are used to it, but it'll be a first for you. How much are you looking forward to that sort of throwdown here?
Yeah, it's actually my second. We were here last year. So, okay, we were here last year for that. Didn't turn out our way. We ended up losing that game. But, yeah, it'll be nice to, be on the right side this time and have everyone cheering for me instead of against me. But, yeah, it'll be, I'm sure, a great environment. I'm looking forward to it.
South East Melbourne are probably, of all the games, you've strung a lot of wins together. Losses have been this way. That was probably one on their floor that was really one that you guys let slip more than they took that one off you. JT said that left a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth? Is that sort of a revenge that you want to get back against those guys?
Yes and no. I mean, for me personally, I don't really like going into games with a revenge mindset. I think the biggest thing for us is we're just trying to keep the train rolling. And, they're a quality opponent. They're, I would say, one of the teams that are, I would say, playing in form as to, on the downhill slide. So, we're just trying to keep cementing ourselves as a legit championship contending team. And I'm sure they're, trying to make their way up the ladder as well. So at the end of the day, they're the next game on the schedule, New Year's Eve game. So great energy, and we're just looking to go out and handle business.
I want to look at some things more broadly here, because obviously you coming to the Hawks, it just has been a match made in heaven. It really seems to have brought the best out in you, the best out in the team, the franchise, everything else. I want to go right back to when those initial discussions, about you coming to this franchise were, because I suppose it looked like the club was looking for a point guard. Often they'll say teams are going to go to Summer League, they're going to look at a guy that's fresh out of the NBA or something like that, but they went you, tried and true, you knew the league. What were the conversations like with you initially about coming to the club, and what was really the sell for you that made you want to sort of come here and play the role that you've played?
The biggest thing was, I think it was we had an open line of communication. JT was very upfront. He made it well known from the jump that he wanted me with the team. And I think speaking from an import perspective, that's the biggest thing you can ask for, as being on a team that really wants you and not being a second or third option. So that was a big selling point for me. I mean, the biggest, to be honest. That was big for me. I forgot what I was going to say after that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of that, though, that was huge. And I just think the first couple years, I was kind of told one thing and brought in to do something else. So I was very upfront with JT and saying that, this is what I expect for myself, and not in a selfish way, but just, what I believe fits me best. And if that fits you guys, then I feel like it'll be perfect. And JT was right on board with that. And we agreed, and so far, he's been everything I expected and more, and it's definitely been a great relationship so far.
You read my mind a little bit on that question, because that's what I was going to ask. Was it a case of, I want you to come here and be my point guard, because you can obviously play in all those different spots. The versatility in your game is obviously a strength of yours, but it's been sort of unwavering here that you've got the keys to the truck here and you're driving it. Was that the conversation from the jump? I want you to be my point guard?
Not necessarily point guard. He asked me, about playing with Tyler, because they were having talks to bring in Tyler. It wasn't official at the time. And I was like, yeah, I definitely think I can. He didn't necessarily say I was the point guard and Tyler was the two. I think that just kind of naturally happened. I think Tyler kind of prefers to be off the ball, and I don't mind being on the ball, so it works out that way. But yeah, he knew I could play the point guard, so obviously if I needed to, I can. It's just one of those things. It just kind of seems to just be a perfect match in a sense. And I'm just trying to finish out the season on the high that that I've been on.
JT, obviously in that position that you're going to play and the role you're going to be asked to play, your relationship with the coach is going to be really pivotal, and your relationship with the captain and the franchise guy is going to be really pivotal. What is it about the relationship you've been able to form with JT and with Tyler that has made it that match made in heaven? What has clicked there?
I think it's just three unselfish guys, to be honest. I think you've seen it where there's games where, Tyler's the leading guy, and I'll be the first one to tell Tyler to keep going. And if he has it that night, go ahead and carry us to a victory, and vice versa. And JT's gives us both the freedom to kind of go and play and have the feel and make the reads that we feel is best. And obviously there's going to be times it doesn't work out, but he's not quick to overreact. And, he trusts us and realizes that if we know we made a bad mistake or took a bad shot, it's not going to happen again. I think it's just a big trust factor and just three unselfish guys that are on the same page and just wanting to win.
It's funny when I ask you about positions, because I watched you play this year and I've loved the versatility that's in your game, that if you're firing away from three, you'll keep shooting, but if you need to get to the line, if you need to get into the paint, if you need to find different ways to sort of get the job done, your versatility and the multi-tools that you have in your game is so impressive to watch. Where does that come from? Did you play a lot of different spots in the five when you were sort of growing up and coming through. Where has that versatility in your game come from? Because it doesn't seem like there's much of an area you can't go to when you're out there on the floor.
I really don't know. It's kind of just, I think, just being a pro over the years and kind of seeing how teams are defending you and just trying to, maybe a weakness they think you have, make that a strength. So, growing up, I've always been a shooter. So that's always been kind of natural to me. And then just as I've gotten older and more mature and things of that nature, and just having a stronger body, I know I'm able to, get to the key a little bit easier than other people. So using that to my advantage as well, and just taking what the defense gives me. If they give me the three, I'm comfortable taking the three. If they force me to the basket or give me a pull-up jump shot, I'm comfortable with those as well. And also just my IQ and learning the game throughout the years, I feel like I've gotten a pretty good handle on how to get to the free throw line as well. So just putting all those together just allows me to, like you said, on a specific night, if certain things aren't going, just being able to rely on some to kind of get me over the line. So, I don't go into any game like I want to do this or that, just off a field basis.
So I love there's been some real clutch moments, I think, the other night, coming straight down the floor and just firing that three away that made it 4 points again really quickly against Sydney the other night. The big moments you seem to really go to as well. Is that something that you take pride in doing?
Yeah, I've always been comfortable in those situations. I don't really feel the pressure. Obviously there's pressure in it, but to me, I don't try to think of it that way. I'm confident in the work I put in. My team's got the confidence in me to, to be able to come through in those situations. So putting those two together, I feel like I'm in a good spot when it comes to that. I've obviously missed some throughout my career, and I've made some as well. So try not to get too high and get too low. I'm sure after a miss, I'm mad as hell, and after a make, I'm happy as hell. So it's part of the game, though. You win some, you lose some, you make some, you miss some. But I'm willing to bet on myself every time when it comes to those situations.
Obviously now, new to the club this year, but not a stranger to the league anymore. You really know, I guess, how to win in this league. I imagine what it takes to win night in, out, what it takes to win a chip. What has you so confident that the proof's in the pudding at the moment, but as we move towards the business end of the campaign, what leaves you most confident that this Hawks team, can go all the way to that chip?
I don't think we're relying on one specific way to win. I don't think, like I mentioned before, we don't have to go into a game like, Trey, we need you to score 25 for us to win a game, or Tyler, we need you to do this or that. We've had games where we scored 15 and won games, like in the blowouts. So I think it's the versatility. If we've showed we can score 120, and we showed that we can score 90 and hold a team to 75. So I think we have the ability offensively, defensively, shooting the ball, getting to the rim, free throws, all those type of things to get us a victory. And I think that's something rare for a lot of teams.
Well, Trey Kell, like I said from the very top, it's been a match made in heaven. Having watched the club for the last 12, 13 years, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you go about your business this year. Best luck for the rest of the season, and best of luck certainly on New Year's Eve.
I appreciate it.